Alright, so here in this example, notice how we have two set of parentheses right next to each other. There's no plus or minus in the middle, so that means that we're actually going to multiply. When you multiply, when it's at least a binomial term, that means we're going to employ FOIL. So my first set, I'm going to FOIL or multiply my 3x to both of these terms here. So 3x times negative 2x, remember when you multiply with the same base, we're going to add the exponent together. So it will be negative 6x squared. 3x times positive 5y will be plus 15, and we're going to put it in alphabetical order, so x and then y. Next is the 4y, negative 4y, and I'm going to multiply to the two terms inside the second set of parentheses. Negative 4y times negative 2x will be positive 8xy. Negative 4y times positive 5y will be negative 20y squared. Alright, I finished foiling. Now I'm going to combine like terms. So there's no other x squared, so I'm going to bring it down, negative 6x squared. But I do actually have two terms with xy, so I'm going to combine these two. This will become positive or plus 23xy, and then I bring down the negative 20y squared because there's no more. And then pay very close attention. See how the x is by itself? So I put that first, and then the y is by itself. I put that last in terms of alphabetical order. But when it has multiple variables like x, y, it's in the middle. So this one is our final answer. In this second example, it's very similar to the first one. A binomial term multiplying to the other binomial term, and again, since I don't have a plus or minus in between, it means it's going to be multiplying. So I'm going to start off with my 6a, going to multiply to these two terms in the second set. 6a times negative 5a will be negative 30a squared. 6a times 7b will be plus 42ab. Sorry. Again, not 4ba, it's actually 42ab. Next, I'm going to start with my negative 6b and multiplying to these two. Negative 6b times negative 5a will be plus 30ab. And then negative 6b times positive 7b will be negative 42b squared. Alright, I finished foiling. Now I'm going to combine like terms. So let me look at my negative 30a squared. There's none, so I'm just going to bring it down. But I notice I actually have two terms with ab, so I'm actually going to combine these two. So these two, 42, positive 42 with a positive 30, plus 72ab. I don't have any more terms with b squared, so I'll bring that one down. So negative 42b squared. Now looking at it, I see that my terms are already in order. So since the a squared is by itself, it went first. And then my ab is in the middle. Since b squared, since the b is by itself, that's going to put last. So it's already in order. I'm just going to box this up as my final answer. In this example, we have a binomial multiplying with a trinomial. So two terms multiplying with three terms. So we're going to employ the FOIL. So my 4x will multiply to these three terms here. So 4x times 3x squared, remember when you're multiplying, add the exponents. So this will be 12x to the third power. 4x times 7xy, it will become plus 28x squared y. 4x times 7y squared, it will be plus 28x y squared. Alright. Now, let's talk about the second half of FOIL, the 6y. So 6y times 3x squared, it will be plus 18x squared y. So I'll put it in alphabetical order. And then 6y times 7xy will be plus 42x, and remember when I'm multiplying the y's together, I'm going to add the exponent. So this will be y squared. 6y times 7y squared will be plus 42y to the third. Alright, so that's a lot of terms. 6 in total. Now, before I continue, what I do recommend is that the one thing you gotta be very careful when working with a problem like this is when you're multiplying, make sure you apply the law of exponents correctly. So for example, my 4x multiplying with the 7xy, here I got 28x squared y because when I'm multiplying the x's together, I'm adding the exponent. And I kept the y the same. In the past, I had students, they multiplied the coefficient correctly, but when they multiplied the x, it should have been x squared. Some had left it as just x. They simply forgot about the exponent. Other cases, they wrote 28 and then they wrote x squared. Again, this is the correct term where it's just y to the invisible 1 power. There were some cases where students had wrote 28x squared y squared because they were rushing and they were accidentally adding this exponent from the x to the exponent on the y. So when you're multiplying and you're applying the law of exponents, don't rush. Be very careful with your exponent on each of the variables. So x squared here, but the y is 1. X to the 1 power, but y is squared. So you just have to be very careful. Alright, continuing on. I'm going to look for my x to the third. I don't have any x to the third, so I'm just going to bring it down. Alright, my next one is x squared and then y. I actually have another one just right here, so I'm going to combine these two. Positive 28 with positive 18. That's going to be plus 46. X squared and then y. Next is x and y squared. So let me look. And there's another one just right here. So I'm going to combine these two. So positive 28 with positive 42, that would actually be plus 70 x y squared. And then last is the y to the third. There's no more, so I'm just going to bring this one down. So plus 42 y to the third. Alright, now let me check if I had to put these in order. So since x is by itself, I'll put that first. And then I have these two terms where there's x's and y together. So notice how this one on the left, it has x squared, and then the one on the right has x to the 1 power. So technically, these two are already in order, starting with the highest exponent. And then last, y is by itself. So y to the third, it was put last in terms of alphabetical order. So actually, what I have here is already in order. So I'm just going to box this up. And this will be our final answer.